Films, and we are so fired up to have a legend here. Reggie Bush is with us this morning, and with the draft just over a month away, Reggie, we're going to go break down some of the incoming class of running backs by comparing them to what made you so successful in the NFL, the three attributes that defined your style. We're talking speed, catching, leaping. Let's see if these guys coming out of the draft now have any of what you had coming out of USC, all right? Why don't we break it down? First of all, we'll do a little Reggie piece and a little Reggie storytelling. Let's start with your speed. Oh, man, I remember that high school highlight film on YouTube. I still watch it once a month. Here we go. You ran a 4.37.
Look how old this film looks.
Reggie, this does look like it's from the 60s. Is that Larry Zonka? No, this is actually, it's 2000. Guys, roll it ahead. What are we seeing here with Oakland as you cash in for one from over 60 yards? Reggie, what do you remember about this?
Well, I remember that, playing in Miami, this game we got 8 to 9 men in the box almost every play. So it was a tough run day, but I had a couple runs I was able to break open. This was one of them. Where the offensive line did a great job blocking. Pound C, Richie Incognito, that whole offensive line. And then all I had to do was just use my speed after that, man. I remember this guy that was chasing me after, I can't remember his name.
Huff.
I apologize. No, not Huff, 33. Was supposed to be like their speed guy.
Was it Typhon
Branch? Yeah.
Striker of the
He's their speed guy. So I knew going into the game, like, okay, if I get an open field against this guy, he's the one I got to beat. So.
Reggie, is there ever a time you remember being caught from behind? I know it wasn't Tom Zibikowski at Notre Dame. He tried hard. He wasn't catching you, Mom. Any time you remember?
There was one play in the national championship game against Oklahoma where I had wide open field in front of me, and the guy literally clipped my heels, and I fell.
And you guys won that game by about 60 points. I think it was fine. All right, here's what's cool about this segment. We've talked a lot about the running backs at the top of the draft. If you look last year, you look at Kareem Hunt, you look at Alvin Kamara, some of those guys in the third, fourth round that could really make a difference. I'm talking about a guy named Nyheim Hines from NC State. This guy has speed for days. This is a converted wide receiver to running back. Ran the fastest time of all running backs at the combine. Reggie, tell me how much speed is the game changer. I know you're the ultimate speed guy, but even if a guy is a mid-round, the fact that he is that fast, that'll make a team take him.
Speed is the one thing that you cannot teach.
That's it.
Speed, you always hear the term speed kills, right? So, and speed is the one thing, listen, at the running back position, or any position really, is the one thing that you can't teach it. And it's the one attribute that, at least for a running back anyways, that this is going to help him at the next level because, listen, and I learned this very quickly. When I got to the NFL, D linemen are fast, D tackles are fast, offensive linemen are fast. So there's that element of when you get to that next level, you have to be able to run away from people, and obviously he has that.
And we know someone's going to take him. This is a guy who's a track star. When the speed is there, this is a guy who could be on your fantasy team next year, could be on your actual team next year.
Get him into open space. See ya.
He gone. Now, Reggie, 100%. This is maybe the most exciting chapter of your skill set, and boy, are there a lot. The leaping. The leaping, I remember it back in the USC days, high school. You were one of truly the great leapers.
This is against the Dolphins.
2009 against the Dolphins.
All right, talk me through this.
Also, you Drew with the block. You see Drew with the block right there?
I'm looking at this.
Listen, I just wanted to make a play. And this was a game we were actually
losing. You guys were undefeated at the time.
We were losing this game.
And losing.
We were losing. We were getting whooped. Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown ran for like 200 yards each on us in this game. And this was a big play right now. I like it, Drew, because we needed this touchdown, and this gave us momentum to go on and end up coming back and winning this game. And listen, the jumping thing, that's not something I really practiced. It was just something that I was like, listen, if I'm within 10 yards of the end zone, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get in there and score a touchdown.
10 yards, that's 30 feet.
Yeah.
At the 10-yard line is when you decide that's what I'm going to elevate?
That was like the 6.
Okay.
Not necessarily the 10, but...
But you landed 3 yards in. Now, Reggie, I said you're the greatest leaper ever.
Appreciate it.
We got Saquon coming out. This guy is the dunk contest winner. Look, it's against Iowa on a 3rd and 10.
And then he stays on his feet and keeps running.
So, Reggie, is this a parlor trick, or we're seeing guys do it more now? Is this really a crucial part of the running back skill set?
Well, I think it's something, listen, if you have it, then use it, because it's something, again, that I don't know if you can necessarily teach this, because, listen, when you're up there, when you're jumping over people, it can get very scary. And I've had times where I've gotten up in the air and it's like, whatever's about to happen next is not going to be good.
Well, we saw it in the Super Bowl. Brandon Cooks tried to do it in the Super Bowl and got caught mid-air, and it was ugly.
Rodney McLeod just...
Melvin Gordon does it on the regular team.
Melvin Gordon,
LeGarrette Blount does it a lot.
Blount does it about 240. Gurley is maybe the best leaper right now.
Exactly.
Saquon is going to do it. He's going to do it early.
I love the fact that he has this tool in his bag, because, listen, the more tools you can have, the more tricks you can have, the more things up your sleeve that you can have, that just makes you that much more dynamic as a running back.
ever thought about that when you're up there and you're like, oh, is this a good idea?
Yeah, seriously, no, I've had some of those times where I don't even think, I just do it, and then when I'm in there, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be good.
It's amazing that you're in the air. You have time to actually think it through for a while like that. You know, like the rest of us are just landing. There's no thought.
Life flashes.
Yeah, he's thinking about what he had for breakfast. All right, last of all, let's go to the catching ability. Reggie, you're an incredible receiver. Let's talk about this guy. You know, when Alvin Kamara came out of Tennessee, everyone was like, how did he not have monster numbers? Because he was splitting time with a guy named John Kelly. We'll get to him in a minute. This is you in the NFC Championship game against Chicago. Reggie, a lot going on in this play. Take us through it.
So this was a play that we knew, listen, if we got, there's a jump.
There's
another leap. But this is a play that we knew if we got man-to-man coverage on a linebacker with the wheel route, that Drew was going to come to me. And we ended up getting that perfect look, and this was actually coming in, this was coming out of the second half. So this was a big play for us because we thought that this was going to be the momentum swing we needed to help us win the game. We were playing against that amazing Bears defense at the time. If you remember, they were scoring touchdowns like every game.
Brown.
Danielle Manning. Sorry about that.
All those guys. And
look at Peanut. He's not punching anything there.
no, and you know what's funny is I actually ran into Urlacher at like a conference like a year later, and all I have been thinking about is like, the next time I see Urlacher, he's probably going to kill me because I've turned around and pointed at him.
Is that who you were pointing at? You're pointing at Brian Urlacher.
I wasn't. I was pointing at the guy that I shook.
Okay, what the clip does not show, after you did the flip, you did a dance.
I
was
did
at
a
this
little
game.
dance.
Someone in Soldier Field threw a concession at you and hit you. Urlacher ran up to you and talked to you right here. Do you remember what he said?
It wasn't Urlacher. It was, I can't remember my guy's name. I played with him.
Adewale Agunlie?
I think so.
Okay, so what did they say?
He was just like, man, that's Bush League, or that's, don't, you know.
Yeah, so my name's Reggie Bush. What do you think you're doing? It's incredible.
You're in my league.
Now you're in Bush's league, dude. That's incredible. All right, so Reggie, we remember this play. Obviously, the Bears went on to win, but this was that part of that incredible breakout season. I mentioned the guy earlier, the guy who's doing this catch. The guy out of Tennessee. Split carries with Alvin Kamara a year ago. John Kelly. This dude can play. He's also an angry runner. He stiff-armed this guy from Florida almost out of bounds. But talking about a guy, he's undersized. He's about 5'9", 200 pounds or so. The fact that you have to catch the ball where you want, it's like you, Reggie. The fact that you ended up in New Orleans is the best thing that happened to you. If you look at a guy like this, projected 3rd or 4th round, how crucial is that where they end up?
I like this guy to go to a team that's going to use him in that same way, allowing him to get split out wide, catching balls out of the backfield, lining up at receiver. Because as I've seen personally, what system you go to is so important. And I've seen guys go to teams where they're not used the right way, and 2-3 years into the league and the production is not where it should be or where people thought, and they start calling him a bust. So I hope this guy can go to a team where they're going to throw to him out of the backfield with a good quarterback, obviously, and where he can be utilized the right way, which is assets, which are catching the ball out of the backfield.
John Kelly out of Tennessee. Lance Zierlein compares him to Corey Clement. He says he's a clone of him. That's exactly what you want. Young, fast, great receiver, like number 25 over there.
Would it make you happy to continue to speak about running backs?
Yes.
Let's do it, because Georgia's Nick Chubb and Sony Michel are two of the top RB prospects in this draft. And our very own Tiffany Blackman is hanging out in Athens, Georgia, as the Dogs get set for their pro date. We love having you on the show, Tiffany, and good morning to you. What are the expectations for Nick Chubb and Sony Michel at that pro day today?
Good morning, Kay. Well, I think first you have to just look back at what these two guys did, at the Combine. Chubb ran a 4.52, Michel ran a 4.54, and then Chubb had 29 bench reps. That's the same as Saquon Barkley, and I think he really showed that he was a lot more athletic than people initially thought he was. These two guys both had really good combines, so as far as what to expect today, well, they may only need to do their position drills, and perhaps this is a chance today for someone like, Michel to be able to show more of that versatility that he did so well for them at UGA last season in terms of catching passes out of the backfield. And then on the other side, when you look at Chubb, maybe this is a chance for him to show off more of that athleticism and some of his versatility in a role that we really didn't get to see him do much of in terms of being a pass catcher. So maybe he's, doing some of those drills, catching passes out of the backfield. But really, I think you can also look for today these two guys to be pushing each other. We know that they are really, really good friends. And it's quite remarkable what the two of them were able to do for UGA last season. They combined for nearly 2,500 rushing yards, and they had 31 combined rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I wish that they could go to the same team, because because I love seeing the Alvin Kamara and the Mark Ingram bromance. I know it's going to have to break up, but what they did was historical. I think it's arguable that they're one of the best running back duos in college history. Top 3. Uh-oh, Peter's looking at me crazy.
Reggie Bush and Linda pretty good.
Top 3 all-time on Georgia's rushing list, all-time. That's crazy. They're 2 and 3 respectively. A lot of good running backs have come
through Georgia, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Herschel,
they're in the conversation.
Gurley,
Right.
Davis.
Georgia, Tiffany also has one of the top linebackers.
TD's going to be here today, so.
Oh, okay.
TD's going to be there?
Terrell Davis is going to be here today.
I like it.
We have a linebacker to talk about as well. What are you looking for today? What's everybody looking for out of Roquan Smith?
Out of Smith, I think we saw all we needed to see from him in the SEC championship and the national championship. The dude was everywhere on the field. And then he goes to the combine and he runs a 4.5. I mean, he's one of, or he is the best linebacker, you know, that's available in this draft. And then you also look at the comparisons that he's drawn, you know, to Deion Jones of the Falcons, just an hour down the road from here. And then also linebacker Luke Kuechly of the Panthers. And that's just not because of, you know, his physical skill set, but also because of his instinct, just how smart of a guy he is. We also know that he does lean on former Bulldog and current Carolina Panther Thomas Davis for advice. He's a guy that's got a pretty solid head on his shoulders, and he could very well be, you know, a top 10 pick in this draft. Those are some of the expectations for him coming out. Okay.
And Bucky Brooks does have him looking at his mock draft 3.0 recently released. He has him going 10th actually to the Raiders. And it always helps sweeten the deal a little bit when you're sitting next to a legend like Reggie Bush watching the highlights as you speak and you're seeing, when you're watching those highlights of Roquan Smith there. Tiffany, you enjoy kicking it with TD. We're chopping it up with Reggie Bush here at Good Morning Football from NFL Films. And we'll hear from Tiffany at that Pro Day for Georgia all day long here on NFL Network. USC's Pro Day also today. Sam Darnold will throw, so check that out. We've got